So today is Meghan Markle's birthday. And if history is any guide, which I do believe it is, we already know how this is going to go. But that's not even the most interesting part of what's happening right now. You know me, I'm super into psychology. There's some interesting stuff going down that I want to talk about in regards to that. So Harry is getting hit with Invictus, is done with those two. Well, I guess they both are. They're getting hit with articles like that, but also these loneliness headlines like Harry's lonely in California. Well, nobody made you do what you did. And this multi-million pound legal bill hanging over his head slash their heads. Can't wait to find out what happens there. Well, Meghan is still busy elevating herself. We just saw those two videos come out on her Instagram. I'm still laughing about those, and so are you. I've got some What's the Goosup, and we go into that. There's a very specific pattern that has me interested and fascinated here. So when Harry is taking the public hits, she either disappears, usually the case is like, think about when he was advertising Spare or going through Spare and people were commenting how awful it was. She was nowhere to be found for quite a while. So she disappears, or she shifts like she is now into pure self-promotion. And when she's in full founder mode, he basically vanishes from the content. Isn't that interesting? I want to talk about the misery, the isolation, the laying it on thick, right? The disappearing acts. I find that interesting. And why her birthday posts always feel less like a private celebration and more like, look at me, from her brand. We have so much to get into. I'm so excited to talk about this. Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, I'm going to dive into this. If you know me at all, you know I'm into psychology, and there's some fascinating psychology going on right now that I just kind of want to dive into, and some patterns that you may or may not have noticed that I want to talk about. There's lots going on here. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you. Sincerely, thank you. Thank you to everybody who's been hyping my videos, who's been commenting, thumbs up. I can't even believe it. My numbers are still continuing to grow. I'm about to hit 5.5 million views in the last 28 days. I can't even believe it. That's amazing. And that's a testament to you all. Thank you sincerely and humbly. I'm so thankful for this flock. All right, let's start with this article that I was referencing. This comes out of Express, claiming that Invictus is done with those two. And I think the rest of us are saying, duh, what took you so long? Seriously, I've been so disappointed in the organization having these two out in front. What are they thinking? I can't make sense out of it. I've thrown out some theories. I know you guys have theories. I'm just saying in general, it's not showing respect to these service people by having these two clowns out in front and making it about themselves and their outfits and their arrivals and will they, won't they, are they fighting, what's going on? It's just totally, they take over everything and they turn it into the opposite of the Midas touch. As we've said, it turns everything brown instead of gold, shall we say. But the reason that they're giving for the separation or being done with the Sussexes is the palace drama, the constant circus. Now, when I say palace drama, the palace isn't doing anything. It's the invoking the palace and the royal family the way that Harry and Meghan do to try to stay relevant and putting the organization in impossible positions. So it's the same coverage that we get describing Harry as this lonely guy in the US, lacking purpose, needing royal proximity to stay relevant. Well, obviously they do. Otherwise, why would they have gone back to see King Charles? That's what I said. That's what we all said. They need it to stay relevant. They need it to continue to sell stories. What else do they have but to sell misery? So I think there's real financial, this is just my opinion, real financial pressure still hanging over them, especially, I would say even before this judgment thing is looming. I would say just based on their lifestyle, the lack of funds that appear to be coming in. But with this judgment looming, it's got to be so much pressure. But again, I can't feel sorry for him. He brought it on himself. I mean, those two are so happy idiots, and then they wonder why they end up in situations like this. Can't make that make any sense. But I think the point here is the backdrop is where he's operating right now. You know, I don't think he adds much to anything as it is, but even less so now. What does he have? All he's talked about recently is wanting to continue this case. And it's like, oh my God, dum dum, stop. You never learned. He was out there talking smack about the judge. You've never learned. But the disappearing act pattern I find completely interesting. So when Harry is taking heavy negative publicity, again, it's not that I feel sorry for that guy, it's as he should. Think about when he was promoting his book Spare, when he has court losses, legal bills, institutional rejection, all those as he should. Meghan's content usually goes quiet. Now, in this case, I've said I think it was a surprise that we didn't get the judgment quite yet. So she seems to be scrambling to get more content out there. She's pushing this lifestyle content once again. Again, it's just so funny to me because tell me you don't care about lifestyle content by showing me Meghan Markle's posts. There's no warmth, there's no heart. Even, I talked about in Saturday's video, even in the way that she shows her products, it's such a contrast. It's this weird cold gray stuff. I find it interesting too. I do a lot of research on her website, the As Ever, and the traffic and how low it is, because I find that completely fascinating. They're trying to spin, oh yeah, she sells $1 million jars, whatever it is, but the traffic is so low, it's shockingly low. Even if you were like a small creator, it's shockingly low. But she has this name and she's always putting herself in the news for good reasons or bad, mostly bad. So it's shocking how low the traffic is to her website. I find that completely interesting. But I think it's funny though that she seems to be scrambling to get her content out there since it was a surprise that Harry didn't get the judgment yet. And what she's doing is pushing this self-promotion mode. So As Ever is dropping products, that blackberry spread, which I call the blood clot, and about 99.9% of you, I've got some of your goosup, what's the goosup pulled, loved it. I had one person threaten to unsubscribe if I said it again. I'm sorry, I can't think of a better description. It looks like a blood clot. So Meghan's in full self-promotion mode, which ties in perfectly with her birthday as well. But she's doing this founder content, and Harry is almost completely absent. This happens repeatedly. It's not a one-off. And I find it interesting. I just always have this fascination in psychology, and I think there's a lot of psychology going on there. The content calendar itself shows who gets protected and who absorbs the public cost. So I find that completely interesting. But today is Meghan's birthday. Depending on who you believe, she turns 45. There's an established pattern here based on previous years where her personal account will stay relatively quiet on the day, but As Ever will post a never seen before photo of her. I believe that's what they did last year as well. And then they'll do a caption written in third person, gushing about Meghan and calling her our founder. So that way we're led to believe it's not Meghan writing itself. It is one of her employees, underlings, whatever she's calling it. Language like celebrating the woman behind it all. Happy birthday to our founder. So get ready for that. I'm calling it now. The effect is that the brand elevates her, or so she thinks. I don't know that the brand does as much as she thinks it does, but she seems to think that the brand's elevating her. So it doesn't look like she's wishing herself a happy birthday, but the focus stays firmly on her image and her status as a founder. I just find that funny, especially knowing that the Confessions of a Female Founder, that podcast I listened to, is no longer. So she still calls herself the founder. Sure, why not? I think The interesting psychology behind it that's got me fascinated is this hierarchy behind it all. So Meghan functions as the primary brand slash product. And it feels like it's just that main character syndrome, right? So she's out front and center. We're not seeing Harry. We never see the kids. We did see a glimpse of the dog, which so many of you guys felt the same way as I did, that it was so weird the way she fed that dog like that. And I got mostly agreeing, like, don't give your dog ice cream. The sugar's bad for him and all that. I am fully aware, people made me aware that there is dog safe ice cream. I get that. I can't imagine, just a hunch, that that's what Meghan, because Meghan's there. She doesn't actually eat it, but she's pretending to eat it. I don't know. I don't care. I'm aware that that exists, but I can't imagine, because she's scooping the same ice cream it appeared into the other dishes. So why would you be giving dog safe ice cream to people that are not around the dog and then just happen to give one little lick to the dog? But anyway, I think it's interesting that Meghan is using Harry when he provides access, prestige, or royal proximity. But when he becomes a liability, whether it's legal or institutional fatigue or even negative headlines, he becomes invisible, or he's the one left holding the problems. The Invictus fatigue, the legal bill, the framing him as lonely in California, and all that, they all point in the same direction, that the same articles we've been seeing pop up lately that Meghan is providing now, and that they're trying to lean on this Emmy thing in a weird way, like that's going to somehow change the trajectory of everything for them. It's not. I don't believe it for a second. But I think the psychology is consistent. It's her image staying what she would call elevated. It's not, but she's trying for that. And his problems do not interrupt that. Isn't that interesting? I think the pattern here is the real story. It's not a single article, but institutions appear to be noticing the ongoing circus. And the rest of us are saying, where you been? We've all been noticing. We've been screaming this. Her brand just continues elevating her anyway. And again, on her birthday, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if it's her woman founder, I like all that word salad she likes to use. We'll see. We'll get bonus points if they use founder, feminist, somehow kissing Meghan's rear, pretending to write in the third person. Let's see how many points we can get here. Let me know in the comments what you think that they'll post. But I do want to know what you think on this. Is it are we seeing a clear pattern? That's what it feels like to me. A clear hierarchy play out in real time. Let me know in the comments. And I want to know if you're seeing the same pattern. The psychology, like I say, absolutely fascinates me. Okay, now I would like to take a look at what's the goosup. That's where I read your comments, and I'm enjoying them so much. So please do make sure you're commenting below, and you might be featured in an upcoming episode. I love this first comment so much. I've been laughing about it since you posted it. Shout out to Barbara Lake 5135, who points out that garden video, the one I featured over the weekend where Meghan's just walking around her garden filming. Barbara says, the garden video is the sort of thing I take when I've forgotten to turn off the camera and video my walking feet. I think that is so funny. And you're right. I said at the time, it just felt like filler or something, just something to grab attention, just walking around her garden. I don't know, but that was such a good video. And I think that's really a funny point. Thank you for that. Shout out next to Mary Taylor, who says, the flowers she picked are cosmos, the most easy basic flowers to grow. Plus, these of hers don't look healthy. Brown thumb gardener. I think that's really funny. I literally know nothing about plants and flowers and gardening, and that's okay. So I didn't know that these are cosmos. I just said at the time, well, I didn't say, somebody else said it looked like Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and that's all I could see with that flower arrangement. It really was awful, wasn't it? So the next one I want to shout out is Nancy DVI. Hi, Nancy. Oh, the Norma Desmond act again. Trust me, Meg, you are not ready for your close-up. That just made me laugh. I can't even remember which video this is in regard to, but honestly, it doesn't even matter. It just made me laugh. Thank you for that. That any video of hers or any post of hers, that perfectly suits. That's perfect. All right, next I want to shout out Lady Carrie of Maine. Hi, Lady Carrie. She says, that is not a happy beagle. It's leaving with her tail low. Thank you so much for that, Lady Carrie. That is such a good point. So Lady Carrie's talking about when the dog is fed ice cream. It did appear, it just kind of walked off. And I said something like, even the dog isn't interested in her ice cream or her food or whatever, her spread. So it ran off. But I thought that was such a funny point. Thank you, Lady Carrie. Shout out to Anna Banna, Chicken Mama. I love that name. She probably rented that dog too. I can't tell you the laugh that one gave me. So always there's rumors that she's got rental children, and that makes me laugh, as if there's a store to rent kids. Maybe there, I don't know. I don't want to know. Anyway, that was so funny to me. Maybe the dog is rented too. Maybe so. I bet the dog wishes it was. I don't know. That's pretty funny. Linda Matthew, hopefully I'm saying your name right, says the dog is going off camera to be sick. So many funny comments like this about the poor dog running away from Meghan as she's trying to feed it whatever's going on there. I still think it's funny that she was advertising her blackberry spread, her gloop, her blood clots in a crystal jar, whatever it is, the fancy glass, and then proceeds to eat a different dessert. I don't even think it may have been, I can't remember now, her product was on it. I think it was just a vanilla cone. So it's like she forgot what she was advertising mid-advertisement. I find that especially funny. But yeah, that's going to do it for What's a Goose Up. Make sure you are leaving your comments below, and you might be featured in an upcoming episode. Well, let me know in the comments what you think she's going to pull for her birthday today, because I'm sure it's going to be something crazy, something dumb, and I'll talk about it. We're edging closer to the Judgment Day on Harry. I can't wait. I can't wait to find out how much numbnuts is going to owe. Then I bet you Meghan will be silent for a little bit. Harry better start taking pictures of his feet for OnlyFans. Anyway, let me know your comments on this and anything else you want to let me know your comments on. Thank you all so much for all your wonderful words, all your kindness, your words of just encouragement. You guys mean the world to me. I can't even tell you how much it means. I spent the weekend and yesterday working on my book, and I've done a pretty big chunk. I can't even believe it. I'm so excited. So that will be coming sooner than later. I'll keep you updated, but it's going really well. I'm so excited. Anyway, it's just kind of pouring out of me. It's incredible. I just sit down and it just kind of flows, and I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. And I got to give you all the credit. You're inspiring me so much. I have a bit of a dedication to you all in there because you just mean the world to me. So thank you for all the encouragement, all your wonderful words, everything, all the comments you leave. I see them and they mean the world to me. So truly, humbly, thank you for everything. That's going to do it for me. Guys, I'm edging closer to 5.5 million views in 28 days. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. My channel is doing so well, and that's because of you all, because of your comments, because of your thumbs up, because of your sharing my videos, your hype. I just want you to know it really does mean the world to me. I don't take any of you for granted, and I appreciate you all. That's going to do it for me. Let me know your comments on this and anything else. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. If you want to further support this show, there are several ways you can do that. Click around on my Amazon link. That helps a lot. And just by clicking the links, it does help the algorithm over there. And what else? Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where I do bonus episodes, deep dives, lots of extra stuff over there. Lots of Harry and Meghan stuff, but also not Harry and Meghan stuff if you're sick of them. Sometimes I'll do like motivational things, or I'll do just silly videos I've seen online, or I react to other things, whatever's on your mind. We'll talk about it. But thank you to everybody who supports me over there. That's going to do it for me. I truly hope you all have the best day, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. Hello. I love this blue. This might be one of my favorites. I love it. I think it looks nice. Let me know your thoughts. I do. I love the blue. And sometimes I get told that I should dress in a different color to set out from the background. Don't care. Love the blue. I love it. I think it looks great. I'm very happy. In fact, I was looking at, I'm just always trying to grow the channel and do better and all that. And I find that when I wear blue, for some reason, my views are usually better. Isn't that funny? Or if I put blue on the thumbnail, like myself in blue in the thumbnail, it does better. So here I am. In fact, it's so funny. Now that I'm putting myself on the thumbnail, it feels weird, but I have to find, like, I just pulled pictures from where I'm talking on here, but I find that it helps if it's more of a shocked face. So let me do a couple of shocked faces so I can maybe pull one as my thumbnail. My hair keeps sticking up right here, so I was trying to fix a little bit. Okay, let's see. What's today's? Today's about numbnuts and numbnutset's birthday. So I'll do like this feels weird. Sometimes laughing photos do well. So I feel so weird doing this. Now I feel like I'm like blushing. I'm posing in front of the camera. Like sometimes I put the pictures over here. So goodness. All right. I'm going to let this go. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know your thoughts on this and anything else. And I will talk to you again soon. I'll be back with whatever Meghan's got cooking for her birthday. We'll see. What do you think that's like behind the scenes? Leave me that comment. What do you think she makes Harry do for her? I can't imagine that they're still in the same house, but whether they are or aren't, imagine he comes over. What's the demands? Flowers, food, cash? Like, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, that's going to do it for me. Take care. Bye-bye.